So, the mason jar hackathon continues on the 63 International Cornbinder. And what we have today looks like a vacuum hose wrapped in friction tape connecting the factory dip switch to a dipstick sort of wiring assemblage.
I assume this was supposed to go to something at one point.
With, yeah, a lot of those assumptions needing to be made. So we're going to take a box knife and do our own Jiffy Home archaeology.
Clearly there was a sale on suitcase connectors the day that the headlights were rewired. And here we see the knackered remains of the thing that used to hold the dip switch. So we've come up with a quick and easy way to get the wiring out of the dip switch and up into the engine bay. Rather than running it sideways, well, this is a small loaf tin, and it fits real nice.
Capture nut,
yeah.
We'll be in business.
Alright, so we're taking a quick break from wiring. Wanted to show off the super high quality tow bar we just picked up for this thing. It's perfect for this build because it cost, what was it again?
Nothing. Yeah, we're going to drill a hole through a part of the car, one of the only parts of the car that doesn't have a hole in it, so that we can route the wiring back into the car instead of underneath the car. We have picked up, we have to be very quiet about this, it's the baker's secret. So this baker's secret pan is going to get 4 holes drilled in it, very nicely, and that's going to be the new dip switch cover. So I think we've got a fix. And now we just needed to get the plumbing strap. The plumbing strap, always a favorite in car circles. Get that off the bottom of the car, and then this will go about there.
Well, we've been beating on this poor old thing, and we've got some wiring sorted out. There's significantly less wire, you'll notice, running in the steering column. There's one that's kind of fallen back into place, but
we'll fix that.
There we go. Good as new if your new is kind of shit. Yeah.
All of the wiring is now safely tucked in where it should be in one spot. And going down, you can see there's a new grommet at the bottom of this thing.
This is what used to be behind the dip switch. You can
we got mice.
Yeah, we got some real frickin' badass mice up in here. And they're gonna have a little more trouble with this one.
And the most important thing, if you walk to the front of the vehicle.
Hey!
That's the first time in 2 years.
And press the dip switch. Hey!
Everything works.
Ish.
Ish.
For now.
I bet you can't turn it.
Alright, so we have a running debate as to whether the front end has any brakes at all. Yeah, it's got more brakes than I thought it did. Hey. Well, we've discovered that adjusting the brakes takes turning some kind of funky concentric deal from the back. See how happy Dad is about that?
Not enough room here to swing a dead cat. Just right there?
Sure.
Like the muffin tin was always there. Might be a muffin tin, but to me, that is a piece of stock International Harvester beauty. Lights. Ah! Hey!
Hey! She stops! So our redneck eyeball measuring techniques turned out to have been entirely successful.
Yeah, we've got, 1.5 inches between the muffin tin and the tires, so it shouldn't hit when snow builds up in that 1.5 inches. I think we're okay.
It'll knock the snow off. It's a self-cleaning design.
It's Teflon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. We overthought this. So we're back to work on the Scout, replacing the front drive shaft. One on the left came from a wrecking yard and looks new on the end. This is the one that came out of it. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be tapered.
We're gonna go with the one that doesn't have gobs that play in it. It just seems like a better idea. We now have a Wildwood master cylinder in there
Nice.
instead of a leaky 1963 Scout master cylinder, a Girling. Unfortunately, the direct fit Wildwood master cylinder had the wrong rod, the wrong boot, and the wrong fittings. Other than that, it was a direct fit.
So for future reference, how can you bleed one of these without doing it properly?
Well, you take the strap off the door. That's the most important tool.
All right.
And then you put your foot on the clutch, stand up on the rocker, lean over like this, pump it several times, just like you normally would, and then crack it at the bleed fitting with a rag in there, and then close it, and do it again, over and over. It is the redneck way to bleed at the master cylinder.
All right, back with the Scout. It's got new wires, which we had to crimp the ends on. That's a new one. And yeah. That's a little better. Still smoked like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons, but it ran a lot better.
Hey, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
I think
It actually sounded strong.
it started, it ran better, I'm happy. That's $72 worth of wires and cap. A wandering steering.
This is the ball on the center steering rod, whatchamafucks it. And that's supposed to be round, I'm pretty sure. Alright, tonight I'm going to rebuild and reinstall the drag link. So here's a basic sketch of how it goes together, or at least how I think it's supposed to go together. We've got these new parts here that we're putting in. My dad picked up some new wraps, new metal. Looks like it got left out in the rain. Speaking of rain. Also came with the felt bit, which is an awful lot thicker, strangely, but not necessarily a bad thing. And of course a new ball. The one on the pitman arm is slightly worn. The one on the center link is flogged. So we're gonna leave slightly worn alone, partially because it's pressed in, and deal with flog. Well, the nut came off easily. Nice break from the expected. And of course this is tapered, so it's in there pretty well. Tried beating on it with a hammer, but I can't really get back behind it even with the wheels all the way over. Well, it's 10:30. The PUD sent out a thing that said that they were going to cut the power at 11 to fix the lines, and well, I guess they changed it to 10:30. Anyway, flashlights for the win. Yep, center link is free and clear now. Got a car battery. Got a Harbor Freight inverter. Well, I could just call it, go to bed like a normal person. Ah, to hell with it. The rebuild kit came with these. Yeah, my best guess is that they had a valve spring, an angle grinder, and not an awful lot of pride. Stock ones aren't broken, so I cleaned them up, and they will go back in. Hopefully last another 50 odd years. I have no idea what the torque spec is on this, and even if I did, I don't have my torque screwdriver handy. Hey, would you look at that? Scout has a steering linkage again. This is loose. These are loose. This one up here, I think might give me some trouble because doesn't appear to be captured. Success. Yep, took a 15/16 wrench, just shoved it down there and then turned the nut on the bottom until the head slotted on. Let's see that come loose. And reinstalled. Okay, both sides are tight. So just ground the paint off the bumper to give it a new coat of paint, weld it back up, not in that order. And yeah, whoever repaired it when they broke this side used a welder. But much to my surprise, whoever did this side appears to have brazed it. Yeah, so gonna have to grind that off before I can weld it. Well, I got all the braze out. It kind of looks like Admiral Akbar staring at me, and I'm about to weld his mouth shut. What a difference a little bit of bed liner makes. So we've got this thing off, and our plan is to basically buzz it off. Yeah, just square it off, and then weld our redneck tow bar to it.
Oh, and you know, the good thing is that everything I find that's hard metal is still hard metal. Of course, pieces fall off if we hit it hard enough.
And here we see what's left of the bumper, ready to get the other thing welded to it. As soon as I do a little firming up on welds that International either didn't do or didn't finish. Oh dear. We better get this thing back together quickly. I'm sure there's a professional welder out there who would tell me exactly how much weld, you know, how long a stitch is or whatever I would need to do this up good enough. But I don't know that information. So I decided that it was better to waste a little 30 wire and welding gas than to waste some poor bastard traveling the other direction when the trailer falls off.
Shit, you could tow a building with this thing.
Yeah, I think at this point the limitation would be the clutch.
The engine and the transmission.
I think this proves that I got it centered because it's balancing.
Yeah, well there you go, yeah.
So, how do you make a patch panel with a crease at the bottom without a bending brake? With a snowplow. Dun, da, da, da.
Even the dents are smaller.
Might just do.
I think it just did.